So I was doing a group session the other night. Had about 7 women. It wasn't actually a group. It was a party of 7 women with half-hour individual sessions. After I'm done, we're talking, having a conversation. And several of them have been with this one particular medium from my area. And this woman really didn't get much of anything. One woman said she did get some stuff for her. But that woman, I'll be honest with you, I had trouble keeping her from talking. Okay, so I have a feeling the reason why she got something was because she kept telling the medium stuff. Excuse me. Great. Good video, Bob. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. Then we were talking about how several mediums kind of go by like, oh, well, they're Italian, they're such and such a way of life, they're Irish, they drink, they're Scottish, they drink. I'm Scottish, by the way, and Italian. Well, I don't do that, but I understood what they were saying. Well, here's what happens with that. And yes, people do that, sadly. Okay, first off, I never get last names, so how am I supposed to know what nationality you are, where you're from? Okay, Italians look like Jews, Jews look like Albanians, Turkish people look like, it goes on. So Spanish people look like certain people. It's very rare to be able to really look at somebody and tell. As a matter of fact, I have one very good friend. Her last name is Italian. And somebody was slamming the Jews in front of her. What they didn't know is that she's Jewish. Okay? So that kind of shows that even if I did get the last name, I wouldn't know who they are or what their nationality is or what their background is. And it wouldn't matter. I don't do that. I concentrate on them. Everybody's an individual. One of the things that's kind of a funny story, I did a session, an impromptu session at a real estate agency. 3 women asked me if I could give them some messages. I said, no, I was there for a photo shoot. I don't do this. I have to sit and concentrate. I was halfway out the door. Bam, man was with me. As a matter of fact, Donna, the story I told, it was her sisters, I told you about earlier, they were her sisters. I went back in. I gave them some messages from the man. There was a woman sitting as a receptionist. And her grandmother, I said, your grandmother was short, heavy-set, cooked a lot. Yes, and she got some messages, So after I left, one of the other agents that I didn't talk to said, we're all Italian, grandmother short, fat, and cooked. Well, folks, guess what? No, that's not true. My mother and several of my aunts were, all Italian, all grandmothers, all skinny, and many of them you couldn't get into the kitchen with a team of wild horses. So yeah, no, that's not true. Okay, they were the types that made reservations, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I know a lot of Irish people that do not drink. They don't even go near this stuff. And I talk to a lot of people in Ireland, so I have to be real careful with that. I actually get calls from people in Ireland. So the bottom line is I go into a session clear-headed. I know your first name. Just because your first name's Maria or Albert or something, that doesn't mean that you're a certain nationality. It just means that your parents liked that name. Okay? So if you're coming into it as a skeptic, and I am, and you're going to question everything I tell you, let's save some time because you're going to have to be open-minded. The souls give me the messages they want you to hear, not what you want to hear, not what I want to hear necessarily. I want more. Every time I get up from somebody, I always wish they'd given me more. But as a call bearer, I don't do, your father's ring is, around your neck, or you put your mother's watch underneath the seat cushion. I don't do that. My next book, which I'm working on right now, is I Can't Find Your Keys and I Can't Find Your Boyfriend, essentially. That's what it's going to be called. Because I don't do that. I literally got a call after a session one time. I'm on my way home. Phone rings. It's my client. She says, Bob, she says, I can't find my keys. Do you know where they are? I'm like, check under the couch cushion. I don't know. I got no clue. Although I did find, I think on a few occasions, told people where a piece of jewelry or something was. So I can't totally not do that, but I'm not comfortable doing that, to be honest with you. At any rate, I hope you got the message. We don't have all the answers. What we do is I go to the other side. I really connect with the other side as hard as I can. It's very draining. I shut down. I try to get, as specific messages as they'll give me. And again, the skeptics, I have one woman, I'll leave you with this. Her husband's a retired cop. Well, so am I. Well, he told her to expect very general statements about broad things. So I told her grandfather's here and had a hat on. He was wearing a hat. She said, well, didn't all grandfathers wear hats? I'm like, okay, not necessarily. Are all men? I'm sorry, I take that back. Didn't all men wear hats? I'm like, no, not necessarily. So then we go on, and I gave her some, well, didn't all people back then do this, do that, the other thing, whatever it was, okay? Well, finally I said to her, listen, you and I are at the same age. I come from a big Italian family, a lot of men in the family. Even on the Scottish Czechoslovakian side, none of those men that I know wore hats. Maybe one or two occasionally, but they did not wear hats. So, you know, I can't stereotype. She said, I get it, I understand. Well, we went on, she asked, her cousin didn't come through, she wanted to hear from her cousin. So I said, she said, you know, can you get something for my cousin? Okay, give me her name. Give her a name, you know, and I forget the message, but like a crazy lady, red hair, blah, blah. She confirmed everything I was saying. So I said, let me ask you a question. What's that? I said, are all cousins like that? She just looked at me, laughed, she said, yeah, I get it, I'm sorry. But what happened with that particular case, she got messages about her kids who were here that she appreciated and knew that I was not making this stuff up and not doing the stereotype. Anyway, this is real hard to do. You have to have some faith. You don't have to be a solid believer. I don't care if you're a skeptic. I am skeptical sometimes. But you have to have some belief in this and understand that what you get is specific to you. Okay? Anyway, you know, I don't know what part of the world you're from or your ancestors are from. I don't care. I'm going to give you the messages you get for you. All right? Anyway, thanks for stopping by again, and I'll talk to you soon. All right? Again, share my videos. I'm asking you to do that all the time, by the way. So, and let people know I'm out here. All right? Take care.